Well, the drag queen story time came back once again, this time to the South Hill Library in Spokane, Washington. Now, guys, this was absolutely ridiculous because a pastor was arrested. That's right, there was a Baptist pastor that was protesting the library event, okay, with these drag queens coming to read to the kids. I've been reporting on this all year long, and it continues to happen in states all across the country. But he was protesting the event when he was approached by police officers who told him that he was not allowed to be on the side of the street that had the library. He could not be adjacent to the library. He had to be across the street. And police told him that only supporters of the event could be adjacent on the side of the library, and all those opposing the event needed to be on the opposite side. Well, he was not having any of it. He says, I have every right to be here. This is public property. The library is public property. You can't throw me out of here just because you have a bunch of supporters that are standing out here in front of the library. He says, I have every right to be here as well. You can't just make me go across the street. Now, there was some back and forth that ensued after that, and eventually police said that they were arresting him for obstructing them. That's right, he was arrested for obstructing the police and refusing to go to the other side of the street because he didn't agree with what the drag queens were doing with these kids. Now, according to the reports, the police presence here, guys, was absolutely ridiculous. They had over 40 police officers, not to mention snipers on the building of the library. That's right, they had snipers actually at this event because for some reason the police thought that all sorts of citizens, everyone coming to protest was going to be carrying firearms with them, and they were worried that all of a sudden gunfire was going to be breaking out. Well, maybe if they had seen what's been going on all across the country this year with all these drag queen story times and how hostile these environments are, maybe they thought like a war of some kind was going to break out. That didn't happen. In fact, not one member, either for or against the drag queens, were carrying any sort of firearms, but yet still they had snipers positioned on buildings for a drag queen story hour. Okay? This is absolutely insane. Now, the pastor was later released from jail. Thank God. According to the report, there was 400 people that were in support of the event while 200 people opposed it, were protesting. They all holding up signs saying that only Jesus saves. But then counter to that, the ones that were for the drag queens were saying that, oh, Jesus would be right out here with us. They were mocking Jesus. They had people dressed up in drag. They had rainbow colors on, dressed as angels, saying Jesus is love and he loves drag queens and all of this stuff. 50 kids also reportedly came to the event to have the drag queens read stories to them. In fact, one of the kids at the event, he was with his father. His son had on a dress, and the father was proud of it. He said it was all about inclusion and acceptance. Now, I'm going to put a link to actually some of the video footage that was taking place at this library event. I will put that down below in the description. You can hear the guy arguing with police officers before he was arrested, the pastor. And he was telling the police officer, he said, the United States that I grew up in, he says, before all this madness started, police would be the ones arresting these men, these perverts that were wearing dresses, reading to children. The police would be arresting them. And then you can hear the police officer in the video say, well, this is a different time now. That pretty much said it all right there. What is happening to our world? It is the collapsing of God from this country. People are turning from him. It's turning into Sodom and Gomorrah is what America is turning into now. And it's sad to see this happening, but we are in the last days and Christ is coming back soon. So I'm afraid that things like this are going to become more common, and more pastors and more Christians are going to be arrested for opposing this filth agenda that's being spread out to kids throughout all of the world. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this pastor being arrested at the Drag Queen Story event in Washington? Let me know. Sound off down below. If you enjoy these videos, please consider giving them a like and a share. Also subscribing here if you are new. I greatly appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes of your day with me today. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I will talk with you soon.